If you're part of the easily triggered community, do not watch this video. It's going to piss you off. If you're part of the community that can reason in a logical, non-emotional, name-calling way, I want to have a debate with you. Tear apart my argument at whatever level you want, whether you're pro-Iran, pro-Israel, pro-Palestine, pro-Ukraine, whatever you may be.
Okay, relax, okay? Like, okay, just calm down, Patrick. It's going to be okay, okay? So Patrick Bet-David decided, over the weekend, like, let me go back online, and let me really address the situation that happened with him and Piers Morgan. Now, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it is a clip where Patrick Bet-David is going off about giving, aid to Ukraine, and Piers Morgan just uses the word Israel, and Patrick kind of just freezes, okay? So I guess this is the fix-up now.
One thing you need to know about me, just 2 weeks ago, everybody was saying I'm pro-Iran. I'm not about America because I called out Daily Wire and, oh my God, Ben Shapiro this, Patrick, all he cares about is Iran. And then yesterday, after my Piers Morgan interview, no. Pat's a Zionist. He's a pro-Israel guy. Make up your mind. Which one am I to you?
No, you are pro-Israel. Like, it's okay. Like, the thing is, it's not about make up your mind, because there were people who were saying about him that, oh, he's Iranian and this, that, and third, because he was literally just asking a question about what happened on October 7th or something like that. Or no. He was wondering if Israel is trying to rush us into war. I'm not getting into that subject, but because he asked the question, people started labeling him as pro-Iranian. Now, the reason why as not pro-Israel or, oh, well, he's Iranian, so I'm not shocked, and did all this type of stereotyping, which I thought was pretty sick. But anyway, but the reason why I say he's pro-Israel is because he said it before. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, he says that Israel's our ally, so he's pro-Israel. Okay, so this whole notion, like, of, oh, one person saying this about me, one person saying the other. No, the one thing though, you said it, so it's okay. But it's still the fix-up for me that is just funny.
Seems like I'm pissing both of you guys up, but here's where I stand. I'm about America first. I'm going to make my argument to you today, once and for all. I've been very consistent about my position. You tell me whatever you want to say, but let me start off by telling you this. My position is based on what these two eyes have seen when I lived in Iran for 11 years, 10 and a half years. And we escaped and came to Germany, then we came to the States. I saw with these eyes a lot of hate in Iran. Margat America, death upon America,
Right. And dig this. I hate when I hear, death to America and all of that. I absolutely do hate it. I absolutely do hate it. I want to be clear, because what I'm about to say next is going to make some people mad. You have to ask yourself why they say that, though. And if you think it's the notion of they just want your democracy, I suggest you go back and look at, again, shows like The Gray Zone, the RANT, because this is not a geopolitical channel, right? So I'm not going to get into the whole, root cause, but there's a root cause. It still doesn't make it right. I don't like to hear it. But the thing is that we've been propagandized so much to hear, this narrative of, well, they just want your democracy. So then we never get to find out exactly what our tax dollars is doing overseas. And we should know, right? If you are America first, Patrick Bet-David, I think that you should take time out to figure out what the tax dollars are doing overseas, since we're sending it there anyway. And it's not about just, your past and what you saw in Iran. And I don't minimize that at all. I'm sure you saw some horrible things. But again, you owe it to yourself in this country to look into our foreign policy and what we've been doing with regime changes and all that, because you wouldn't like it. And then we would demand more from our elected officials, who are, oops, by the way, paid for by lobbyists, right? So, come on, man.
So maybe you're Team China, because I'm not. I'm Team USA. I can continue on and on and on. I'm also not part of the camp that's sitting there saying Netanyahu didn't know that an attack was going to be taking place and CIA warned him.
Yeah, so I'm not going to get into that on this channel. So as that was happening, Patrick Bet-David was really making the rounds this weekend to make sure that he is on the right side of the story. And look, I want to be very clear that I still think that Patrick is an inspirational person, if you will, very ambitious. Like, come on, nobody can sit here. If we're going to sit here and say like, oh, he's just dumb, or, and I didn't see any comments like that, right? But we're not going to say that he's just dumb, he doesn't know what he's talking about or anything like that. We're not going to do that, because then we're not having a serious conversation. Okay. So if somebody does not get to, that position in life at 45 by being dumb. So I'm not here for a childish conversation. But what I will say is that Patrick Bet David is not fully informed, okay? And who has time, right? But it is your you should do due diligence. And he's saying that he will debate people about, our American policies and stuff. And so, Suleiman Ahmed on Twitter has called out Patrick Bet David and said, yo, I'll debate you. Like, let's have a conversation. There are many people he could talk to. I mean, he could even talk to Norman Finkelstein if he wanted to. But that is, again, not this episode. I would like to see that, though. If he did talk to Norman Finkelstein, we would cover it on the channel. By the way, guys, if I have not asked for you to like this video, please like the video. And please hit the subscribe button if this is your first time here. And a notification bell. Sorry, and thank you. Thank you for watching. Now, back to it. So then there was this whole thing because Tucker Carlson had talked to Joe, and Tucker was asking questions, and when he was talking about how atomic bombs in Japan, and that we didn't have to do certain things in history. And Jeremy Boring says people who deny the moon landing or suggest. I want you to listen to this. Let's do that again. Okay, pay attention to this tweet. People who deny the moon landing or suggest America is evil for its use of atomic weapons against Imperial Japan, or who say that George Bush was behind 9/11, actually hate this country. That's a very small bracket to already have to hate the country, because you might question the moon landing. Like, I mean, I don't waste time questioning necessarily moon landing, but maybe some people don't believe in the fact that the atomic weapons were used, or nobody. What are you talking about? George Bush was behind 9/11. I don't even think that's definitely not the going story right now. Okay, so be clear that people were saying that like 7 years ago. They're not saying that now. Anyway, so you gotta hate the country because you ask questions. So that was for Tucker, right? Something about Tucker. I know why they don't like Tucker. They don't like him anymore because he did call out Ben Shapiro for being, not America first. So anyway, Patrick Bet David commented, Jeremy, isn't the entire premise of being a critical thinker to question things? Some of the best podcasters and influencers are those who ask questions no one else is asking. Being anti-establishment is to question the establishment motive. No, which is so true. Like, isn't that like what you want to do? I know that's what we do here. It is not critical thinking to say America never landed on the moon, or that George Bush orchestrated 9/11 attacks. Is rejection of critical thinking. Bro, so you are being totally semantic to the point. It's not even worth it. When people start doing that, I'm talking about a bigger picture, and you're talking about these 2 points. If you feel like you didn't like what somebody said, I need you to call out that person, because right now you just sound like you're just being picky. Okay, only because I know the background of that tweet is why it makes sense, but it doesn't really. In reality, it doesn't. Stop crying. Stop, just call out the person you want to call out, or else we're going to keep having these weird conversations. Like, I think I'm just really frustrated and tired of this country for not calling out things in detail. Just call it out in detail. What is the big deal?